Hello, internet. Look at my hair. Do you know what? When that happened, like 2 days ago, but because life is a constant challenge, life is a roller coaster. You just got to ride it, like the famous philosopher Ronan Keating once said. I haven't got around to doing it, so I've been wearing a hat. And I haven't been doing videos because my device was remotely jailbroken after downloading video from an institution that will remain nameless for now. However, what's more important is me cutting my hair because I look ridiculous. And in doing so, I can also then share some life shit, I guess, like I did last time. It's not a great angle, is it? Let me just move you there. So it seems that I'll do it here actually. That's all gone in the sink. Right, I'll do it into the it's dropping everything everywhere into the toilet. This is how I cut my hair. I haven't been to the bar. This is going to fall into the toilet, which is not what we want. Will that balance? Yes, it will. So yeah, so basically, don't trust systems of control, because whether you would like to admit it or not, we have all been psyoped. If you're not familiar with the term psyop, basically through the media. All right. Through the media, we are conditioned into norms of any sort, really, but specifically with relation to society, in this case, would be most appropriate, because all of our values, now let me take it back a step, every single person in the world, basically, has a big square black thing in their house that they sit in front of for hours and hours on end, and that's a TV, if you hadn't guessed. And in so doing so, you have all your attention goes into whatever it is that you're consuming. Now that is, your diet isn't just the food that you eat. It's the media that you take in, it's the conversations that you have, it's the words that you speak. And when we sit in front of a box, this has been going on for generations. I like watching old school cinema. I was watching Ben-Hur, the original Ben-Hur the other night. What a film that is, by the way. Very, very old school, very, very cool. And like Spartacus and things like that. Basically, when I was younger, I spent a lot of time in Spain in summers, and I had access to all of these old DVDs that my granddad had organised. And so I've sort of had not only a school in film, but a school in old school media. And obviously, there is now huge amounts of growing. What's the word I'm looking for? Consciousness. Look at that bit there. There's a huge amount of consciousness that there is a lot that we can't trust, that we take in through this big black box in our living room, in the front of our house. We center our houses around these TVs, and we just take it all in all of the time. I'm guilty of it. So, well, not so much anymore, but sitting in front of the TV, oh crikey, the amount of hours I've wasted. But I don't see it as wasted hours anymore, because I sort of see it now as it was an education, and because I'm open-minded, and I like being wrong. Being wrong is a really, really exciting opportunity for growth. But anyway, so we do get messages subliminally and not subliminally through the TVs, and if you try and step back and look at it a bit more like, okay, well, is this crazy conspiracy theorist okay mentally? Or is this a very open-minded, unarticulate and introspective young man, fairly young man, trying to leave the world in a better place than when he found it? I might suggest it's the latter. But the thing is that we've been so conditioned to, for over such a long amount of time, that it seems so bizarre. So it's like the left-wing thing. Like there's this big left v right push at the moment, and everything's political, like Glastonbury and everything. But the left are actually the most well-meaning, in a sense, because the left think that they're doing the right thing. Like virtue signalling is a bit different than that, but the left and liberals, it's very much about doing the right thing for all people. That's kind of, and really the majority of people that find themselves politically stationed at the left, it does come from a place of well-meaning. It does come from a place of wanting to help and wanting to do the right thing. I just think that over the course of such a long amount of time, it's been so twisted and contrived, and it's so nuanced that actually these people that think they're doing the right thing, I have to move this bit. These people that think they're doing the right thing are also inadvertently doing the thing that's harming the people the most, which is they're just misguided. People on the left are not bad people, they're good people, they're just misguided. Most of them good people. I can't obviously say it's a definite for a whole group of people, but the underlying principles of being left-wing are liberal and equality. Now, do we actually want to live in a world where equality is the main thing? I would suggest not, because people aren't equal. Some people are short, some people are tall. So what, are you just going to say that, is this thing going to go so far that it's like, oh no, you can't say someone's short, but you can't say someone doesn't have, it probably will. It actually might. It actually might get to a point there, there's all this identity stuff that you can't even say if someone's short or tall. Can you imagine? Yes. That's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem of it. You can imagine that happening. So, we have these boxes that sit in our front rooms, and we spend the majority of our time over generations now. Don't forget, this Hollywood thing has been happening for a long time. So even in the situation where I'm overcooking it, there has to be objectively a situation where there is a possibility that messages could have been received over time that are distorting and creating societal norms. Like, that's objective. Like, there is a possibility, if we're all sitting in front of a box in our house every day, and the people that control those boxes are the people that control the countries and therefore the societies, there is an objective possibility that there could be messages given to us. No, there are messages given to us. That's objective. It's just whether or not you can see that those messages are for any sort of gain or not, or whether it's, I coined the phrase, does the media reflect society, or does society reflect the media? And now that there is an objective possibility that the latter is true, that the media, society reflects the media, that it is possible that that's the case. And now I've grown up thinking that's not the case. It's just the media is a reflection of society, and that's just how it is. Like, when you see, I don't know, when I was listening to Wheatus' Teenage Dirtbag as a kid, I just thought, this is a catchy song, there's nothing untoward about this. But then now, looking back on it, when I'm listening to these teenage records and it's all about shagging, it's kind of like, and on the basis that, you know, I am open-minded, and because I've got this little autism thing, I don't understand how to use subtlety, in a sense of like, I can be more considerate with my words. I had to learn how to do that. But you know, like, if someone wants something, they'll say, "Oh, that's nice," rather than, "Oh, I want it." Does that make? That's probably an easier way of understanding how my brain doesn't really work. Where I'll just say, so for example, the woman that lives near me, they had a little granddaughter over, and she had really cool pajamas on. And I said, I like your pajamas. And then the woman was a bit like, oh, who's this guy? Like, what the fuck? But it's just because I like the kids' pajamas. And I've said about her shoes before as well. But like, there's no. I think the thing with me is you can't. It's not necessary to read between the lines. I'm just gonna give you the lines, and then you can do whatever you want. And that's not really that much of my concern, other than sharing the truth for positive, harm to none and growth for all. Right. So we sit in front of these blocks that give us messages objectively, and I'm suggesting that there is a possibility that not only is objectively someone's calling me. There is objectively a possibility that I need to say this. Hello? Oh yeah, you're alright. Can I give you a call back in a minute? I'm just finishing cutting my hair. Alright. There we go. Yeah, there is an objective thing of like, we are given messages, and it depends if the people that are giving us those messages, who signs off on that, and why do they sign off on that, and why is that not regulated, and who decides that, and why do they decide that? Why do the people that decide what goes on TV, why are they the ones that decide it, and who are they, and what are their intentions, and what are their goals? Do you know what I mean? And if you don't have faith in the system, like I never have. I was kicked out of school I've been thrown under the bus many times in my life. It started when I was a kid. So like I've always known that systems of power can be corrupted, or systems of authority can be corrupted. And in my later life, I've seen that as well with the police and stuff. Because that is a shit show. That's a shit show. And they do it, and I have loads of respect for bobbies, but the people that I work higher up, it's just like power corrupts. It's so easily done. And I spent my whole life thinking people do the right thing because it's the right thing, and like you have to do it. Like that's like you have to do the right thing because that's what it is. But like I don't know. I was thinking to myself the other day: does anybody do that? I can't be the only one that does the right thing all the time. I can't be the only one that says the truth all the time. I can't be, like, there has to be other people that don't lie. There has to be other people. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm analysing like people that I was friends with in the past. And now I can see it a bit easier because I've been naive for so long to it, possibly because of this like autism that runs in the family. That now I'm like, I can't be the only one that tells the truth all the time. Like, surely not. But then maybe because of this weird little autism, well I say weird, that's not very left wing, is it? Because of this autism thing, it's like I don't really understand it. And I can suss it out a bit better now when someone's doing it. But I spent so long not understanding that people did that. But at the same time, learning that people in positions of authority don't usually, if ever, do the right thing. It's kind of this weird cocktail of experiences, and I kind of got to this point where it's like, I really hope to be able to, there you go, I knew there was some more. I've got to this point where I want to be able to help other people and leave the world a better place for my kid, who, by the way, I've been seeing lots more of. Yay. Yeah, it's a mad time. And even like Glastonbury and stuff getting political, and sign of the times. It's a sign of the times. And even do you know what did it for me? I saw a free Tommy thing. And by the way, I don't agree with everything Tommy Robinson says by a long shot, but I do agree with the sentiment that the powers should tell the truth at all times. I don't agree with everything Tommy Robinson says because he thinks that Islam's the problem, and it's not. It's bad actors are the problem. It's not. You can't just say Islam's the problem. No, it isn't. People that say they're Islamic that are doing these gangs and stuff, that's not because they're not doing that because they're Muslim. They're doing it because they're arseholes. well, no, that's not the right thing to say. They're doing it because they are devoid of the respect, or devoid of humanity, respect, helping other people. Like, they don't care. But that's not because they're Islamic that they don't care. It's because they're people that don't care about that kind of thing. Like, I saw saying like there was 9 Syrian families, and I haven't watched the Tommy Robinson thing because I don't really want to take in the energy of. I know enough about it to not be able to take in the whole thing, I think. Although it might be prudent to do so in time. I'm more concerned about lifting my energy field rather than lowering it, which is what I was saying about your diet isn't just the food that you eat, it's everything that you take in, and that affects your energy field, and your energy field can attract. Like attracts like. It's like this law of attraction thing. It's like not bullshit. It's not bullshit at all. It really works, and I hope to be able to prove that in time. But yeah, there's definitely a possibility that those people that have had control of the system that we have found ourselves in for a long time, can we trust their motives? And if we can or can't trust their motives, is there a possibility that because we can or can't trust their motives, that we also can't rely on social norms or societal norms? You know, the term PSYOP keeps coming up, which it appears to be quite clear that it is actually a thing. And it's scary, but once you like step back and be like, okay, it is scary, but this is also like massively helpful for our kids and our kids' kids and the future of the human race, basically. I'm still getting a bit off the top there, aren't I? Then you just have to be courageous and be like, it is scary that there's systems of control and systems that are supposed to protect us. That isn't their main prerogative. It is scary, it is shit, but I've been sat in that for a long time, so I'm kind of a bit numb to that part of it. I don't think numb, I don't think I dissociate from it. I'm really pleased that there's positive things happening. And when I say positive things happening, I mean change away from the norms that we've been force fed and take for granted when we can't trust the people that give them to us. And if you just hold, the last thing I want to say in this video, if you just hold on to the idea, or even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, if you just hold on to the idea and just try and think about does media reflect the society, or does society reflect media? That can be my one message that I kind of want to get across in this video, other than finding barbers so awkward that I don't go to them. But yeah, hold on. Just try and think over the thing, especially if you don't agree with me. Try and think about this thing of like, does the media reflect society, or does society reflect the media? And then you might have a stepping stone to a bit more greater understanding where everyone can benefit. But I'm going to call them a person back because they're very cool and nice, and that's also seen positive progress. So, in the words of Porky Pig, piss off, Lou.